Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and welcome to game 2 of this best of 3 from the Go for SC2 Cup rather. And let me introduce these two players. In the top left, we do have the red Protoss player, it is Monchi. In the lower right, we do have HyuN, the blue Zerg, and well, game 1 was pretty extraordinary. I'm still chuckling to myself about game 1 actually, because we saw Monchi fake going for a quick third and then just going for an Immortal Sentry all in. We saw HyuN deal with it quite well. He knocked most of the stuff out and then went for a massive base trade counterattack. What then continued on after was both players nearly dying, coming to literally within an inch of their life. And right till the very last moment, when there was literally 2 roaches against 1 immortal, it looked very, very close indeed. And finally though, Monchi won it. Just because HyuN, he just started laughing. He laughed in chat. I think even with HyuN's incredible APM, the laughing was just too much for him, and he GG'd out, and they both GG well played each other because it was that sort of game. And now they're probably both hoping the rest of the series goes somewhat more standard. But of course, Monchi's going to be happy taking a game off a GSL Code S player. I'd be happy taking a game off HyuN. And of course, as we can see, he's now just going pretty much standard. Of course, Antigua Shipyard isn't too fun. It's force cross spawns, of course, as it is on the ladder now as well, which is great. Finally balances this map out a little bit. But yeah. Forge Fast Expand. It's gonna probably be a Forge first. You've got to be very bold to go Nexus first, in my opinion, just because it is such a wide area. But Monchi may just be that bold of a man, because he's bringing that probe down, and he's gonna make a Nexus first. My golly, he is going for it. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna burn a Nexus first, because HyuN's not gonna 6-pull me or anything like that. Of course not, it's HyuN. But HyuN does 6-pull. He's done it before in online tournaments, and I'm sure he will do it again. He is not afraid to bring the cheese. But yes, coming back to Monchi's point of view, we do have the Forge down, the Nexus down, a pylon being built in the main. Meanwhile, HyuN, he's got his natural up, he's got his spawning pool up. Everything is going precisely to plan. For the moment, we haven't had any War Prisms flying around carrying the last Immortal in the game. We haven't either had HyuN running a drone around trying to decide whether he should build an extractor or go and mine. But what we have seen so far is the gateways and forges and cannons and nexi are great, as well as spawning pools and hatcheries. So that's good news. Now, I know loads of you subscribe to my channel and stuff, but if you don't, you should do, because I get new games up daily. You should also like the video if you enjoy it, because that way more people will hopefully see it and enjoy it as well, and that would be good. And also follow me on Twitter, which is here, just at MadalsSC2. It's cool. You get to know when I'm doing cool things, like casting Demaga v White in a best of 9 on Heart of the Swarm. And if you missed that, you can find it on the ESET UK Masters YouTube channel, which is ESET UK Masters. Now, coming back to this game, of course, HyuN getting up his 3rd base at a very nice time. It was like before the 4-minute mark. Yet again, he did the same before, and he gets that because he skips a queen. He basically only gets the 1 queen down super early, and then gets his 3rd base down super early as well. That's the compromise he makes. Meanwhile, we do have a Zergling managing to sneak its way in. This is really important for HyuN. It means that he's got all of the information he requires. He knows exactly how many drones are in gas. He knows exactly what his opponent's building. He can be a bit of a pain. He can just run this Zergling around near infinitely and poke and prod at probes, and if Monchi doesn't pull them away in time, they'll die. So it just eats up some of Monchi's attention, which is always a good thing to do. While all HyuN's got to do is select lava and make drones. That is his one and only task, apart from of course spreading creep now. But until he started spreading creep, he had one task only, which is to make drones, and he is doing it highly successfully. Now, if we look around, we do have some... Where even is this? There we go. There's the robotics facility right at the front. Because if you've got a Zergling in your base and you want to hide something from your opponent, build it where they least expect it, which is plain sight. Meanwhile though, the sentry is out. That single Zergling is going to go down as he's a pylon. Not going to get to see anything else, though, trying desperately to find him. So actually, great place for Monchi to go and hide it right there. Looking down here for HyuN, he is getting up his first and second gas. Meanwhile, we've got +1 getting researched. I don't believe that's been spotted by HyuN yet, so he is completely unaware that his opponent is definitely gearing up for an Immortal Sentry all-in. We've got the 3 additional gateways being added on, taking us up to 4. We've got the robotics facility down, although an observer is en route. We've got the 3rd and 4th gas now as well. Meanwhile, for HyuN, he's just about to hit the 50 drone mark, 6 more on the way, so probably after the next round of drones, he should be fairly okay drone-wise. There we go, so he's up to 55-ish, and once these injects finish, he'll make them all into drones as well, most likely. And then he'll be up to saturation, and we'll be very, very happy indeed, and we'll start producing roaches and speedlings, and all things nice that help you defend an Immortal Sentry all-in. Now, monchi actually getting up quite a few gateways. He's up to 4 now, so I thought he had 5. I thought he had 1 in his main, but clearly I've gone a bit insane. But that doesn't matter because we do have +1 on its way as well. The Immortal just popping, the second one getting constructed as well. Meanwhile, as we can see here, for HyuN, he needs about 10 to 13 more drones, and then he'll be fine, although he's not even going to go up that high. He instead is just going to sit here. Where is he not saturated? So he's oversaturated there. He must be undersaturated somewhere. Perfectly saturated there. Ah, the gas. That's where he's not saturated. On his gas in his main. The observer, though, sees that. We see the macro hatch coming down. We see more speedlings coming out. More roaches coming out. And an Immortal Sentry all-in potentially coming out. Alternatively, though, judging by the fact that Twilight Council is there, I think we're more likely to see monchi go for the 3rd base. But, of course, HyuN doesn't know that yet. He's completely unbeknown to precisely what's going on, but now he sees this Twilight Council, he should be a lot more in the know, because the only reason you get that is to get the +2 upgrades, and you won't get the +2 upgrade if you're going for an Immortal Sentry push. There's just no need for it, but HyuN is going to go and attack anyway by the looks of things. He's just going to wait for some more roaches. Roach speed is half done. HyuN would do very well starting to pick off these rocks. He knows there's no pylon or detection there, and if a 3rd base was going down, he could just go for that. But instead, it looks like HyuN going to just charge through, and he gets a complete surround with all of those speedlings, and with that, he is going to be able to deal a lot of damage, force a lot of force fields as well. And while the units lost will definitely favour monchi, these forced force fields are very important. As we can see here, a lot of these sentries are getting low on energy, which means wave 2 of this push we see coming in is going to be a lot more effective. The pylon coming down will see these rocks getting taken out, and now monchi could very well be forced to cancel that 3rd base because he just does not have the units there ready to deal with this much stuff from HyuN. The rock's still getting picked off. We have monchi coming down through the side. Is he going to try and engage this? It appears that he does want to. He forces HyuN back for the moment. HyuN is just going to knock those rocks off though, so that means that suddenly monchi isn't a bit of problems because he's got a wall off, which is now keeping him out of his own 3rd. We should have some good damage done to this Nexus, and indeed the damage is getting done. The speedlings staying there are going to force the cancel, and with that, obviously HyuN is now still a base up. He's getting his 4th on the way, and he's got more units flooding across the map. He's also getting up drop tech and overlord speed. That means that straight away he's going to be able to drop these units directly on top of his opponent, which is really helpful because he then gets a complete surround, negates the effect of force fields, and also allows him to snipe down those immortals a lot more effectively. The roaches utilizing the high ground to pick off a warp gate. That again, a free warp gate is never something to shy away from. Unfortunately, a lot of speedlings getting trapped there, which is something that you'd like to shy away from ideally, because losing units for nothing is never ever going to be a good engagement for you. Meanwhile, looking back at HyuN's main, he still hasn't taken his 5th and 6th gas, just staying on 4 for the moment and getting out an awful lot of Zerglings and Speedlings. He's taken quite a substantial supply lead. He's also got his 4th central base up now, and with that, obviously he's going to be able to produce so much, including the macro hatch. He's up to 5 hatcheries. He's just going to be producing. The ventricle sacs about to come down, so they are just finishing up now, which means the overlord drop tech can start coming out. Here comes all of the overlords, and with this, monchi is in a serious amount of problems. The one thing going for monchi right now is he does have the upgrade advantage. It's 1-0 missile attack and 0-0 for the Zerglings compared to 2-0 for monchi. So with an upgrade advantage, you're in a slightly better spot, but you're 2 bases down, and your opponent has got a massive army. HyuN basically maxed out. He's ready to push across. The overlords are coming in, and there's nothing here to see it coming. And basically, HyuN just going to go for the absolute doom drop into the main base. Stalkers are trying to come over. They do have blink, but not blinking up onto the high ground yet. And of course, without that blink up, which would be pretty suicidal anyway. HyuN is just going to be able to unload completely in the main base. That leaves monchi trying to push up his own natural ramp. Of course, ramps give you a defensive advantage, and of course now we're just seeing massive amounts of damage be done everywhere. We've got speedlings running through, we've got just so much damage being done here, and yeah, all in all, this is very, very painful to watch for poor old HyuN, for poor old monchi rather, because he's lost his main base. Nearly all of his production facilities have gone down. He's, well, actually they haven't, because they're all going the natural. He's lost his main base though, he's lost the mining base. He's now down to 1 mining base compared to HyuN's 4. More roaches in production, more speedlings in production. The force field trying to go down, but completely surrounded. Monchi down to under 100 supply of that of his opponent, and I'm expecting we're going to see a GG very, very shortly. HyuN executing a large roachling drop ever so well, and while we do see for the time being monchi is able to hold without a main base, he's got a GG out, and there we go. So game 2 levels up the series 1-1. If you like, remember, like the video, leave a cool comment, subscribe, then flick over to my channel and find game 3. I will see you there any second. Bye for now.